All right, let's look ahead to Game 2. A couple things in particular of what to sort of watch for. You see it there. Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, Lee. You don't need to stay up past midnight, Lee. I know you're happy.
The 8 p.m. tips.
Unless it goes to triple overtime. So, Tass, let's start with you. What is something to watch for in Game 2?
After a 44-point performance by Braun, do the Warriors dare change their coverage on him? Do they change it just because he had a fantastic game? Does Steve Kerr stick to his guns and play him straight up? Actually, former Kings coach Mike Malone in here on NBA TV this week, and he joined us, and he talked about when he was an assistant coach with the Cleveland Cavaliers, when LeBron went off in 2007, if you remember, in that Eastern Conference Final, when he got over the top of the Pistons, he had that huge Game 5. He scored 48, 29 of the final 30 points.
Yeah.
And they played him one-on-one. And then Flip Saunders of the Pistons decided, okay, we got a double. But that's when Boobie Gibson went off in Game 6. LeBron had 20 in that game. Boobie Gibson had 31 to give them the conference final championship. So I don't think there's a chance that Steve Kerr changes his defense, even though Braun was basically unstoppable.
I don't know why you would. Even Curry, I think, after the game, quoted saying something along the lines, look, we know LeBron's going to dominate the ball. This is our game plan, though. Let him go for 40 or 50. Just stay at home on all of the other guys.
Have to.
It worked. I mean, yeah, you got 44, but in the end, they got the W. What about you, Lee? What are you watching in Game 2?
We talked before this series that we're going to need to see at least one J.R. Smith game. With Kyrie Irving out, we absolutely have to see at least one, maybe more than that. So why not with Game 2? I mean, we've seen what he can do. You know, he just needs to get a couple of shots up, get a couple of looks, and he can knock them down. I mean, this is what JR does. You know, he just goes out there. He believes every shot is a good shot. And if he gets a couple going...
There were times in Game 1 where I thought we might be getting that, JR.
It looked like it.
And the thing is, the importance of him when he does knock these down is then perhaps Steve Kerr has to look at a different defense on LeBron James. Because you know LeBron James will be going to him as much as he can.
Yeah.
And if JR, like he did against the Atlanta Hawks in round 1, can hit 8, then all of a sudden the Cavaliers have a chance to win. But they're going to need that from him pretty much from the start.
Yeah, the Cavs shot something like 15 for 43 on uncontested looks. They got looks.
Yeah.
They just were knocking them down. The Warriors, on the flip side, over 50% on their uncontested shots. They just shot the ball better there in Game 1. Something I'm watching, especially now with the Kyrie Irving injury news and him being out for the postseason, is the bench production. Okay, so you start with the Cavs. You know Dellavedova is going to be in the starting lineup. This Cavs team, I mean, they already had no bench. Now Delly's in there, taking Irving's, 30-plus minutes, 40 minutes likely in this game. Who does he turn to? Who does Coach Blatt turn to? I mean, are we going to be forced to see some Mike Miller, some Sean Marion, one of these old vets that hasn't seen a lot of time? You almost think he's going to have to.
He has to, for sure.
And then on the flip side, the Warriors, can they continue to get production? The second quarter was big. We talked about it. A lot of those bench guys came in there and they erased that deficit that the Cavs had built up in the first quarter. The strength in numbers is their whole T-shirt. It's their playoff mantra. I mean, it's a reality with this squad. 10 guys played in Game 1, all 10 scored, all contributing. So